Good morning. I decided that in the next hour that I have free before my following appointment, I'm going to start my plant room tour. I have a lot of plants. Nobody asked for this tour. Nobody has asked to see what I own, but this brings me joy, and I'm very proud of my collection. So I thought maybe some of you will also find joy in this. And if you don't, it's fine. Just click away. Go do something else that makes you happy. It's all right. But if you are interested in seeing some really cool and semi-rare plants and how I take care of them and how they're doing, good, bad, or ugly, then you found the perfect video. We'll just see how this goes, okay? Terrific. Let's go. Also, do you like my new sweater? I got it for Halloween and I'm probably gonna wear it all month. Yeah. Okay, let me flip you around. We have a lot going on in here that we'll get to. Little backstory. You can see that it shares space with my vanity here. This room originally was my vanity / what I called my dressing room. About a year and a half ago, I was redecorating this space. I really hadn't touched it much since I'd moved in. It was really plain. So I went out and I got this cute wallpaper and I painted and decked it out. Got the little, you can't see them from here, little plant art up there. And that was going to be the theme. But there were no actual plants in here at the time. And the week that I finished the room, I was laid off from my job. And the reason that that's significant is at the time, all of my plants were in my office. I had this beautiful, spacious office with glass walls. Those are called windows. Lots of windows. So there's a lot of natural light and the plants loved it. And so I was laid off, and obviously I had to do something with the plants. Well, the reason that they hadn't lived here prior and I had been keeping them at the office was because of these things. I didn't think that the plants and the cats would get along very well, and I didn't want to risk it. And this condo has really poor light. So I just figured they would do better elsewhere. So I moved everybody in here. Now, given at the time, there were far less plants than there are now. I've really grown my collection in the last year and a half, but we moved everybody in. That's how this room came to be. And turns out the cats and the plants actually coexist very well together. I know that that's not always the case with all cats and all plants. And for pet parents out there, we have to be cautious anyway, because there are definitely plants that are not pet friendly. And if your pet does get curious, we don't want them to get sick. But for the most part, they leave the plants alone. There are a couple exceptions to that, which I'll talk about. But all in all, everyone gets along. So it works out because I've been able to expand the collection to other areas of the house, which was absolutely necessary. Let's start with the greenhouses. We have two here. This cabinet is a Millsbow tall. It's from, I almost said Amazon because that's where you get everything. It's not. It's from IKEA, and I converted it into a greenhouse. There are a ton of people who have done this in similar and different ways. There are a lot of tutorials online about it. If anyone is planning to go that direction, it's pretty cool. And then this guy I got from Marketplace. This was just a glass shelf unit. I took out the original shelves and added some wire racks instead so that there was more room, or more like air circulation in there. And then obviously put the lights in there. I used some weather stripping to seal up any gaps so that both of these maintain their humidity. And the plants love it. This has really been a game changer for a lot of especially my baby plants who need better environments to get strong initially. But most of the plants in my collection are tropical plants, so they naturally want humidity. And I live in the middle of Arizona where there's basically none of that. So I try to mimic those conditions best I can. Actually, my next big project, I actually want to get a second Millsbow because you'll see the sky is packed and a lot of the plants are starting to outgrow the space. They're just getting too tall. So I want to get a second one and get rid of some of these middle shelves so that I can put these really tall boys in there and just let them grow up and up and up, and everybody's happy. But that's a very time-consuming and relatively expensive project, so we'll deal with that later. All right, let's talk about plants. We'll start with cabinet 1 here and just work our way up. So on the bottom, we have 3 different philodendron. A couple of my faves. This guy here is a philodendron verrucosum. I have her sister in the other cabinet, but these leaves are stunning. This is a velvet philodendron, and I don't know if the camera will do it justice, but look how shimmery and gorgeous those are. I just think she's amazing. Next to her is a philodendron soderoy. Soderoy have this really cool silver patterning on them. Both of these are about to need a moss pole extension, so that's why I'm gonna be in the market for another, what do I call this, cabinet soon, but that's a later Hannah problem. Next to that, we have a philodendron brantianum. Some climbing philodendron also can be grown as cascading plants. It's just personal preference. When I got this plant, it was in a pot, just like a standard pot, and it was really full and it was cascading and it was gorgeous, but I thought, let's put her on a pole so she can climb and we can get these leaves to grow really large. But she didn't like that. She got a little grumpy on me and we lost a lot of leaves. She's since come back. You can see she's taking off here. She's all the way up here on the second level, but yeah, we'll see. I've taken some clippings from her. They're up above. I'll probably just grow them as cascading because she seems to prefer that. But for now, this one is what it is. Down here, we have some clippings from a plant that's behind me that I'll show you in a little bit, but also a velvet type of velvet philodendron. Really cool. Second shelf. We have some alocasia here. Let's start with this guy. This is a Ninja Albocorm. I purchased this online a couple of months ago. Oh my gosh, there's a second sprout. Can you guys see that? It's very small. Okay, I'm stoked for this to grow and give me leaves. It's gonna be beautiful. I have a regular Alocasia Ninja that I'll show you, but this is the Albo version, which means it's gonna have white variegation. It's gonna be gorgeous. Anyway, she's been a bit of a slow grower, but it's fine. Next, we have a couple of Alocasia Mellow. That one's not very happy, don't look at that. This one though, her sister, oh, I love this Alocasia. This might be my favorite of all time, and I'll show you her mother behind us later. But these leaves are just so cool, dude. Oh, sorry, I can't get in there. But they're like plasticky, they're thick, they almost seem fake. I just love them. Next to her, we have an Alocasia Bambino, variegated. However, if we look at her, you're not gonna see a lot of variegation. When I got this plant, she was half this size. She had a bunch of leaves. They were pink and green and so cute. As she's matured, we've lost a lot of that variegation, which isn't uncommon. It's never guaranteed that a plant will stay variegated. So it's a bit of a gamble. You can see on this guy, there's a tiny bit there. That's what we want it to be everywhere. There's still hope. Sometimes people will cut back variegated plants that aren't showing variegation, and that can encourage the new growth to be variegated. You can also keep them under really bright lights. So we'll see. I'm gonna let her go. I don't have a Bambino otherwise, so either way, I'm just happy she's here, okay? Next to her, we have an Alocasia Green Unicorn, another one of my faves. I'll show you the mother plant in a little bit, but just these really like punchy, bright green leaves. Another Brantianum back here. That's a clipping from the plant below. And then we have top shelf. Actually, real quick for reference, the thermometer back here. Both of these cabinets stay around 85, 95 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the humidity, which is low right now since I've had the door open, but typically the humidity is also around like 90. So they really like that. Back to the top. We have a little clipping from an arrowhead plant. This is a Syngonium batique. Next to that, we have an Alocasia silver dragon. Her mom is in the cabinet next to us, which we'll go to after this. And then we have what I'm pretty sure is a philodendron melanochrysum. I had a larger, well, I'll say this plant was larger, and I think I cut her back and put her in this moss, and now we have this, which is exciting. However, I don't know what this is. I know that I had somebody on a moss pole. She didn't like it. She was going downhill. And so I just chopped her up and I threw her in here. And we have sprouts. So in a few months, I'll be able to confirm. I thought this was my melanochrysum. So then what is this? Anyway, stay tuned for that. I'll fill you in as soon as I can. Then behind that, we have these beautiful babies. This is from my Alocasia Regal Shield. I got 30 babies from that plant, which is absurd. They're all doing splendidly. They are very fast growers. All right, there is cabinet 1. And let's get into cabinet 2. Oh, did you want some screen time? Sorry. Do you want me to show them your favorite plant? You want me to show them how crazy you get? Okay, let's go. Come on. Get in your chair. Get in your chair. Good girl. You want a treat? Okay, 1 second. All right, quick aside. This is a spider plant. This is a plant that is actually not toxic to plants, to cats. I don't know about dogs, but cats love it because it, I guess, creates like a hallucinogenic effect with them. So this one can't let me water this side of the room without begging for a little snack. So I'm just gonna give that to her. She gets nuts over this thing. Watch this. You want this? Oh, okay, be good. No, back up. Back up. Oh my gosh. Okay. Is it good? Yum yum? Okay. Back to where we were. Alrighty, in here we have, let's start with this. This is a begonia. Beyond that, I can't tell you much more. I love begonia. I think they are one of the coolest family of aeroids. They can, the leaves that you can find on these things are insane. They look otherworldly. The colors, the texture, the pattern, everything. But they hate me, okay? The exception to that is cane begonia. This is not a cane begonia. I don't know what you would consider this, whatever the other type of begonia is. I have quite a few cane begonia, I'll show you later, but all that to say, I've had this one for a little while and we're still doing all right. So I'm gonna keep her in here. Begonia do love humidity. That's one of the keys here. So I think having her in the cabinet has made a big difference. And the last few times I've tried to get along with begonia, I didn't have a cabinet. So that may have contributed to their downfall. Next up, we have another beautiful fave. This is a philodendron El Choco Red. Awesome leaves. Look at this. This is another type of velvet philodendron. But just like, it's so pretty, dude. Look at the colors. Just golden, green, goodness. Next to her, another velvet philodendron. You see what I'm into? This is a philodendron splendid. I'm really happy with this one. I'm very proud because I got her when she only had like 3 little leaves, some of these guys down here. Put her on the pole pretty much right away. And the increase in size already, phenomenal. She's growing really quickly. She loves the moss pole. I'm really excited to see where we can go with her. Behind here, we have a couple of more common plants. This is a marble queen pothos, and next to her is a Scindapsus pictus. Really cool. I do love this plant too, but for some reason, here's what's funny. I tend to do better with plants that are considered more high maintenance and difficult plants. The low maintenance plants, I don't know. I don't do great with them. Like, they're alive, but I don't know. And maybe I just have less interest in them. And so maybe they don't get as much attention. I don't know. But like, here's a pothos, just a regular golden Hawaiian pothos. Here's another one. They're fine, but they're just, I don't know. They're not the happiest plants I own. I digress. Anyway, back to business. We also have a staghorn fern. Such a cool plant. Look at these fuzzy leaves. Look at how cool that is. Okay. Next, oh, excuse me. Sorry, that was a little personal. We have a variegated philodendron micans. As I had said before about variegation, it's finicky and it's unpredictable. It got this beautiful girl with these original leaves. Look at this stunning pink. She's so nice. She was looking promising, and then she put out another leaf, and then she put out another leaf, and then she put out another leaf, and they kind of just got greener and darker, and they're still really pretty, and there is still variegation on here, but it's just not the same. You know what I mean? Here are her 2 newest leaves. Like, these don't even look like they belong to the same plant, honestly, but they do. I need to extend this pole. Look at these aerial roots searching for somewhere to go. This is what I'm talking about. I actually had her in a little tiny baby pot for a long time, and I just switched her over probably a month ago, and she's taken, okay, maybe it was longer than that. Maybe 2 months ago. I don't know. My mental timeline is shot, but it hasn't been long, and as soon as I put her on the pole, she just took off, and I really need to water these poles. All right, moving up to, actually, hold on, I'm going to water these because if I just keep going, it's going to stress me out. Please hold. Okay, back to it. There's a lot happening here. Where do we want to start? Here we go. Here's the other silver dragon. This is the mama to the one next door. I got this original plant quite a while ago. She didn't make it, but I saved her rhizome and I was able to revive her, and she gave me a whole bunch of corms after that. So I'm really proud that I still have this in my collection. We have another, oh, this is an Aslanii. Alocasia aslanii. Has this pretty light pink veining in here. You might be able to see it better on her mother plant, which is behind me. Next to that, we have a Scindapsus platinum. This is one of the newer plants to my collection, and the camera is really not doing it justice. It's so shimmery. There we go. I love her. I think she's gorgeous. This plant that's trying to take over the whole shot is the sister to the other varicosum in the first cabinet. I just cannot get over this, dude. She's so good. Now, she lives here. Here's the story. Let me shut this because I'm going to tell you the story. I'd wanted a varicosum for a very long time. They are a relatively rare plant, I guess. And I found one of my local nurseries had a few. So I ordered it, which I rarely order and then pick up. I usually just go straight there, and I like to shop for my plants in person and pick them out and all that. But I just ordered it because I didn't want them to run out. So pay for it. I get to the nursery and it's covered in spider mites, which I clocked immediately, but I wanted this plant so badly. I was like, it's fine. I can treat this. I've dealt with it before. And I did. I treated it. I got rid of the spider mites, but the damage was already done. And I think between that and then just some shock from bringing her home to a new environment, she was looking terrible. losing leaves rapidly, and I did not want to lose the whole plant. So I chopped her up and I put those nodes into moss, and I just crossed my fingers and hoped for the best. And sure enough, she lives. I think this piece I must have clipped from this at one point. Sorry. To try and, to see how she would do on the pole, because my real goal with this is to have a humongous varicosum at some point. I have to figure out what to do with her because, like I said, she's really taking over the cabinet, just hanging out here. She's a fast grower, which I like normally, but with this particular plant, the internodal spacing is really long, which means the point from leaf to leaf. So this right here, see if I can show you a good example. This is a node, and then we follow this down. This is a node, we follow it down further. We have another and another. That's where the leaves are. So in some plants, the nodes are really close together. So you get a lot of leaves kind of close up. But with this, they're really spread out. So to have a full looking plant, I guess this is a better way to see it, where there's a big gap right in between each of those leaves. I don't know what I'm going to do with her. I've been avoiding it. I'm not going to be able to do that much longer. Okay, next, what do we have? We have this beautiful anthurium, Doriaki. I think that's how you say it. Very cool leaves. Behind that, we have one of my 2 peperomia. This is a peperomia frost. It has this nice, again, metallic silvery leaves. Further, we have my second peperomia back here. This is, I'm going to cheat and read the label. Peperomia albo vitata piccolo banda. Got that? That's a lot of words. It's a cool plant though. Look at this. I knew. Look at that. Pretty. And then hiding over here, I'm sorry, I hope this isn't making anyone sick with how I'm filming this. This is another philodendron. This is a majestic, which is a hybrid of the Soderoy that we saw in the first cabinet. You can see that same silver patterning mixed with, I think this is crossed with a varicosum, which is why it has that same leaf shape. Further back here, we have some more Alocasia Entero velvet. Here's a good view. Look at this gorgeous dark green fuzzy leaf. This leaf is literally fuzzy. Can we see? It has like little baby hairs on it. It's so cool. I bought an Entero velvet probably a year and a half ago, and it did okay for a while. I have found they're one of the most finicky Alocasia. And so after a few weeks, sure enough, she started to decline and she wasn't making it. So I kept her rhizome healthy, and then I was able to plant that and get that to regrow. No, I didn't. No, I didn't save the rhizome. She just had a bunch of corms. So I kept the corms. And so all these babies I probably have 8 maybe. So those were technically from my original plant that I don't have anymore. I'm going to try to do this with the door shut because it's stressing me out. Here we have this beautiful philodendron Campo sporatum. This is a newer one too. I got this at the same time I got the Scindapsus moonlight. But look at this. The lighting is, there we go, that's better. Look at this really beautiful coloring. It's kind of iridescent. As the leaves mature, they turn full green, but when they're a little bit newer, they have this like champagne-y shimmer to them. Again, very fast grower. She needs a moss pole extension stat. Look at this, trying to grab onto anything it can. Yes. Oh, no. Okay, well, that's what I get for trying to do this with one hand. This is an Alocasia chantrieri baby. Her mom's over somewhere. Behind her, we have a mystery corm and a mystery corm. That kind of looks like a regal shield. Look how beautiful that leaf is. Wow. Very nice. And then another Entero velvet. That's a good view of the leaves there. I do this thing where I'll plant up some corms and I won't label them because I think to myself, I'll remember what this is, and then inevitably I don't. But this one is labeled, and even if it wasn't, I'd know this leaf anywhere. This is my alocasia venom. As I was saying before this plant decided to utilize gravity's best, I got this corm. You might have seen me post about this a while ago on my story if you follow me on Instagram, but this is a relatively rare plant as well. I'd say very rare, but it's quickly becoming more common. I bought the corm. You can see it's sprouted, obviously, 2 leaves. Look at this tiny little thing right there. Oh my gosh. It's so unique, and this is obviously very immature, and when this thing gets full grown, it's gonna be good. We have another, this is, what are you? This looks like, I don't think this is a silver dragon. What is this? Oh, this is a platinum. Yes, it is. I forgot I had that. Awesome sauce. Another cutting from my, oh, I'm sorry it's not focusing. This isn't my gifting. Another Alocasia Peru. We have another Baby Regal Shield of the 30. This one is dope. This is a variegated Regal Shield. I have never seen any leaves like this. I bought this corm online a few months ago. She has given me a stunning leaf. I'm very excited to see this plant take off. But just, I mean, that's just insane. Look at that coloring. I love it. Behind her, we have my alocasia. No, this is not an alocasia. This is a Monstera Cebu Blue. This is very funny. So I have her in this pot, right? And she has just taken it upon herself to make her own way in the world. And since I didn't give her a moss pole, she's just gonna climb wherever she very well pleases. Look how neat that is. She's just taken over, and I'm okay with it. I'm totally good with it. Do your thing, girl. What else? We have 2 more Anthurium back here. I think this is my Clarinervium. I'm sorry, the lighting is very poor. I can't really get her out right now. Come here. Here we go. Gorge. Little baby. She's still in a very small little cup. I need to up pot her soon. Next to her, we have a dragon scale pup coming in. Next to her, we have another Anthurium. I do not know what variety this is. If anyone has an idea, drop it in the comments. Another mystery baby, another Regal Shield baby, another Mellow baby, and then we have this poor little thing. This is a pink black velvet. And maybe you're saying to yourself, Hannah, I don't see any pink or black on this plant. And to that I would say, me neither. I got this plant when she was bigger than this. She had 2 leaves. And they were a beautiful variegated pink, white, black. Actually, this was one of her original leaves, which has seen better days. Oh, goodbye. She put out a new leaf. It was all white. That quickly died off, as all white leaves tend to do. She put out a 3rd leaf. You're looking at it. All white. It's like she doesn't want to live. So we're just doing our best here to keep her roots and her rhizome healthy here. And I fully expect this leaf to not make it. Hopefully with time, she'll put out some more that actually have color to them so that she can make it. I don't know. Disappointing, but that is the plant parent's journey sometimes. Okay, let me put her back. On the wall, more Alocasia. These are Alocasia Dragon's Breath. Are these not the coolest? So cool. This is a baby. This was a corm from her. And then over here, this is my Alocasia Ninja. So we talked about the Ninja Albo corm in my cabinet. That guy is going to grow up to look like this, but with variegation, which I just cannot wait, dude. Cannot wait. Up here we have the Monstera corner. Hiding behind those, we have this gorgeous cascading Scindapsus pictus. More alocasia. Man, I should have dusted these before they had their big moment, but this is the mother plant of a couple that we looked at in the cabinet. This is a chantrieri. I never remember how to say that right. I always want to say chantrierii, but that is not it. Chantrieri. We have an alocasia poly. And then we have a philodendron heartleaf, or heartleaf philodendron, whatever. And then we have another enterovelvet. Stunning. Alocasia dragon scale. Wow. Everybody say, ooh. Some ivy. Can't tell you anything more about that, but it's happy. Monstera. Look at this thing, man. Look at these leaves. Are you kidding me? Just insane. Insane. Wow. Wow. Every time, just wow. She's doing great. Look at all that growth, man. I love it. Up here, we have an Alocasia caprea. It's like alien-esque. Like these thin red leaves. You'll see it called a red secret. It's the same thing. Caprea, red secret. Very cool. Here is a begonia. We were talking about cane begonias. This is a cane begonia, which really the distinction is between a cane and a non-cane. These are going to grow more like sticks. They have these long spines, and these can get up to like, I've seen 4 or 5 feet. But these I can grow just fine. They seem way more tolerant. Are you kidding? Look at this new leaf. These colors are nuts. Then we have an Aslanii. No, wait, yes. Yes, Aslanii. There's a better leaf. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. The lighting in here is not the best for filming, but this is a cross between this guy and this guy. Pretty neato. And then next to her, we have a philodendron summer glory. Great timing. You can see a new leaf coming in. And what's neat with this plant is the new leaves are this bright pink, well, yeah, muted pink, I guess, red. And then as they mature and harden off, they turn to this color. Cool. We're almost there. Down here, we have a lovely Christmas cactus. My mom gave me this. And every year on my birthday, it blooms. That's very nice. And then, again, don't tell the others, but one of my personal faves, the stunning green unicorn. She's doing, I mean, look at all this. Look at all this growth. This is a new leaf. Let me try to turn on their grow light, which I turned off for the sake of the camera here, but hold on. That's better, maybe? Yes. Look at this vibrant green. Don't look at where the cat chewed on it, but look at the vibrant green. Alocasia are toxic to plants. So why do I keep saying that? They are toxic to cats. Yeah. My cats are fine, in case anyone's concerned. I think they got a taste and they said, oh no, not for me. And also that was down here before I moved her up. Everything's fine. Next to her, we have the stunning Alocasia Maharani. Look at this like matte. This is similar to the mellow. A lot of people get these confused. They're different. That's a mellow. We'll look at her in just a second. Actually, maybe I should put them side by side. These are like more plasticky and a little more matte, and the veining is a little bit different. Let me put her up next to the mellow and I'll show you. You can see the difference. The texture, like it's a little more, I don't know, 3D, a little more bumpy on the mellow on the right. I don't know how to describe that, but you see what I'm saying. This is heavy. I'm going to put this down. Okay. And one more cane begonia. I think this is called an angel wing. I'll be honest, guys, as nerdy as I get about plants and species and variety, I cannot figure out begonia. And yes, I've gone down the rabbit hole on Google and I cannot really seem to find the identifiers for the specific types of cane begonia. I have a couple downstairs that I know what they are. We'll get there later. But if anyone wants to tell me what these are, that'd be dope. And then we have the stunning philodendron micans. Sorry, I had to make sure I had that right. These leaves, let's find a good one. In person, these are glorious. They're deep and shimmery. Gosh, the lighting is not it. Come here. Anyway, they're great. You should get one. They're low maintenance, and you can find these pretty easily. At least in the last few months, they've been at big box stores a lot. I don't know if they're still there. I've been staying away very intentionally because I really don't need any more plants right now. And then we have our last few here. This is a Tradescantia. It's called a cobweb. Well, it's a cobweb Tradescantia. Adequately named because it looks like there is just spider web all over this plant. It's very cool. It's very cool. And then I think our last alocasia in this room, Ivory Coast alocasia. Its grow pattern is very different than the others, which I think is neat. Oh, and let me give a moment for this guy, my ginormous Monstera. May, can I help you? I have another corm that I grew, the Chantreurii, and I don't know. This is turning into be a very fickle plant for me, a very tough grower, because look, none of these leaves are happy. And I have other pups from this same plant that are doing the same thing. And I don't know why. They get the exact same care as all my other plants, my other alocasia. They live in pond, which is usually the secret sauce, but they're just not happy. I have some that are growing in the greenhouse. I have some that aren't growing in the greenhouse. It doesn't seem to make a difference. Do you just need some attention? Can we do this later, please? I'm almost done. Another stunning green unicorn. We have an alocasia quilted dream. That's the common name. It's an alocasia sinuata. It has these kind of puffy green leaves. It's cool. And then we have this guy. This is a plant that I usually hate, but this particular variety I absolutely had to have. Look at these freaking camo leaves. Is that not so cool? I have never been drawn to an Aglaonema. Do not care for them, but this one is the exception to the rule because this patterning is just so unique. I love it. So we added her to the collection. I hope you guys oh my god, I didn't realize what time it was. Well, there you have it. I feel like I just breezed right through that. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I feel like I didn't tell you anything specific. We just ran through a bunch of weird plant names, and I don't know if that was helpful, but yeah. I guess if anyone has questions, I'm here for it. I love to nerd out over my plant stuff, so let me know. Yeah, and then if we want to do a tour of the plants I have on the first floor, we can do that too. We probably will. Why not? All right, cool. Well, later.